Hey there. Welcome back. Welcome back to you, and welcome back to me. I'm back. This is the first video that I am recording after having taken a little break for a few weeks at the end of August, just to give myself a little time away from recording and give myself a little reset and restart. And so today, since I am easing back into things, I thought I would start by doing kind of a part 2 to the last video I did right before I went on break, where I rambled and gave you a few updates, and where I purposefully switched back and forth from soft speaking to whispering. And you all seem to really like that effect in that video, so I thought that I would do a little bit of that today and just chat with you and let you know how my break went and how I'm doing. And I thought also that I would do some tapping and notebook sounds with this notebook, because I used this notebook in that last video, and one of you commented that you really liked the sound of the notebook tapping. So I thought it would be fun just to do a simple little video today with some whispers and some soft speaking and some tapping and some notebook sounds, and just kind of get myself warmed up again to recording. And so the first thing I will say is that while I was on break, I really missed you all a lot. I really did. I think it was good for me to take the break, and I'm glad that I did it. But I truly missed recording, and I missed having this time set aside to hang out with all of you and connect with all of you. And I really realized how much creating videos has become a part of my routine and a part of who I am, and that it's become really important to me. And so I just wanted to tell you all that and just let you know that you are an important part of my life, and that spending this time with you is something that has become very valuable and very special to me. And so I just want you to know that I really do value all of you very much, and I'm grateful to you for being here and for creating this space for me, because without you, this would just be a one-way communication, and it's all of you that create this special environment where we can connect and relax and chill out together. So thank you. So I am glad to be back, and I do think that I proved my own theory that even with things that we really enjoy doing a lot, it is still good to take breaks from them, because it just changes things up a little bit and really makes us appreciate being able to come back to it. So I did make a few notes here, of course. I always make notes. I always make notes so that I don't forget what I wanted to share with you. And one of the first things that you might notice that is a little different since the last time we saw each other is that I gave myself a haircut. I have been very lazy about going and getting actual haircuts from a professional. I mean, I think, there for a while when lockdowns and things were happening, we all tended to go a little DIY with things of that nature. Some of the things we might have normally gone outside to outside sources to have done. And I just kind of haven't let go of that yet. And I had been letting my hair grow. It had gotten pretty long. And on one of the hot, humid days in late August, I was feeling a little weighed down. And so I just decided to go for it and give myself a little self-makeover. So Justin helped me. He trimmed across the back, and I've been cutting Justin's hair basically again ever since, lockdown started and everything, and that has worked out pretty well. His hair is quite curly, so it's very forgiving, and I did get a good pair of scissors, and I've gotten pretty good at trimming his hair. So I just recruited him to help me do the back part. I pinned back some layers in the front, and he helped me cut it evenly across the back, and then I did my own little thing in the front, and I'll probably still continue to wear it partially pinned back a lot, but I wanted to show you my masterpiece here that I did for myself, and I think it's pretty good. And of course, I still keep noticing, I'll notice when I look in the mirror, like, oh, maybe I should take off a little bit more there or a little bit more there. And so eventually this fall, I think I am going to go to an actual hairdresser so that I can have a professional who knows how to actually put proper layers in my hair do that for me. Because my hair is quite curly naturally, and so when I have well done layers, my hair will sort of spring up into nice natural little curls, and so it would be fun to have my hair cut a little more strategically to help make that happen. But this is good enough for now and has made me feel cooler and lighter and refreshed. So that was my first big happening from my time away, was giving myself a little self-makeover haircut. So let me know what you think, but please be kind. Since I'm a person who does, take videos of myself and put them out in the public realm, I guess I should probably care more about how my haircut looks, but I don't know. I've gotten pretty laid back about those kind of things, and I know you're mostly here for my voice, not for my haircut, so I think it's okay. So also, while I was on this little break, I got a chance to spend some time with some family and friends that I hadn't seen in a very long time. And Justin and I got to spend some time with some of his family who live farther away from us geographically, who we hadn't seen since his episode and hospitalization and all of that. And so that was really good and very therapeutic to get to spend time with family and talk to them and kind of process things together, but it was also really challenging at times. It's still hard for me to kind of go back in my mind and revisit a lot of the things that happened. And if you're new to this channel and you're not really familiar with my story, I'll link to some videos below about the mental health journey that my husband and I have been on over these past months since he was diagnosed with bipolar 1 disorder back in March. And I just wanted to share that it's still quite a process for me to be healing and to be sort of going back to previous experiences and processing them more and working through them and working through the feelings that I have in my body and the anxiety that comes up sometimes when I talk about those things or think about those things. And as Justin and I are in this time of transition now where he's doing a lot better and we're moving forward, there's still a lot to handle emotionally and psychologically. And so it's just, still one day at a time. That's what I've always said through this. One day at a time, one step at a time, being kind to myself and patient with myself, and still being really diligent about boundaries and taking care of my energy and making sure that I don't do too much at once, either physically or emotionally, that I don't try to process too much at once, and that I give myself plenty of time to rest. So that has really been important for me, and Justin is continuing to do very well. I'm just so pleased and so thankful. He is physically and mentally and cognitively and emotionally just really doing well and thriving and continuing to improve all the time. He's doing great with being back at work, which is a relief for him and for both of us, and he's really enjoying his work, and we just didn't know if that would be possible for him again. So there's really a lot to be thankful for and a lot to feel hopeful about. So we will both continue to take good care of ourselves and focus on our healthy routines and self-care as we move into the fall, so that we can maintain, hopefully, this steady progress that we've made. And we have been doing a lot of fun things together. We've been hiking just up until this week when it got really, really hot and humid again. But we had a spell of really nice weather. So we did some more hiking. We took Hazel, our dog, on a lot of nice walks down along a brook that is nearby us, and she loves to go there and be along the water and sniff around and usually visit with other dogs, so that's really fun. And just the other day, we did a really challenging hike, which we did not take Hazel on, so that she could have a break. I think it would have been a little bit much for her, but we did this hike that is near us that is quite steep up the side of the mountain, and you get to the top and there are these beautiful vistas where you can look out over the valley and see the fields and see the train track that runs nearby. And while we were up there, a train actually came through, so we got to see the train from high up above, which was really cool, and Justin really likes trains, so he enjoyed that a lot. So that was a special outing for us. So we've been enjoying the outdoors as much as we can, and we've been continuing to go to art time at the library every week. and continuing to do our painting, which has just been so fun and such a creative outlet for us, and also enjoying our time at the library, checking out books, and we've both been reading a lot, which is wonderful because when Justin was in the depressive dip after his manic episode, he just didn't have the focus to be reading, and honestly, I was having a hard time focusing and concentrating at that time too, just because of everything that was going on in my mind. So we've both really enjoyed getting back into reading, and I think I will be doing a new library book review video soon, because I have a book of poetry that I checked out from the library, which I have really enjoyed. So stay tuned for a little poetry reading, I think, to come. And speaking of writing and books, I have been continuing to write and work on my personal essays. I have shared a couple of those essays here with you on my channel, and I do intend to continue to read those aloud and share those here from time to time. And I will link in the description to my Substack blog if you would like to read more of my essays. I'm just going to start including that in my little signature in the description because I am proud of myself for writing those essays and sharing those feelings and working through those topics, and I hope that they can be helpful and interesting to others and somewhat entertaining as well. Sometimes I do bring a little humor into my essays because you have to do that in order to get through the tough times of life. I haven't been focusing on my tapping very much here, so I guess it's just kind of a nice little background. I hope it adds a little bit of a tingly ambiance here to what I'm doing. So I've been continuing with publishing essays on A Little Nervy. I'm actually working on one right now talking about my experience with painting and doing the art time at the library and how helpful that has been, and also about how I recently attended a songwriting workshop at the library, which was really cool and definitely pushed me outside my comfort zone. And I was really proud of myself for doing that. And I did help to write a song in conjunction and collaboration with the other people who attended the workshop. And I got some good poetry out of that workshop. And believe it or not, it inspired me. When I got home over the next few days, I had some additional ideas for songs. So I actually got out my mandolin and have been working on a song, which is not for anyone but myself, because I am, not aspiring to be a musician or a songwriter, but it was a very cool way to try out a new form of creativity. That was not something that I thought I could do at all, and to find that yes, I could do it, and I did have a little bit of a natural aptitude for turning my poetry into song. So keep an eye out for that essay if you're following my blog, where I will write a little bit more about that. And then also on the topic of poetry, during this little break time that I took, I had kind of a resurgence of writing poetry, which is something that I have always enjoyed doing throughout my life at different phases. And it's something that, like everything else in life, I've sometimes been critical of myself about the quality of my poetry and put a lot of pressure on myself about whether it was good enough or worth sharing or whether I was doing anything real with it. And like so many things over these last few months, I've just let go of a lot of my, my self-importance and my pretense and my expectations about things. And poems have started to come back into my mind. I always feel like with poetry, if I sit down and try to write poetry, I don't have a lot of good luck with that. I kind of have to just open up space in myself and let the poetry come to me. So I also have a poetry publication on Substack. There's another secret I am revealing to you, that I have a poetry publication online where I have shared poetry that I have written over the years, and now just recently I have started to share new poems again, so I will link to that as well. That publication is called Love Poems, Life Poems, because my poems are mostly about sort of regular, everyday type things. So if you like poetry, you can check that out. And let me know if you would ever like me to read some of my poetry on this channel in a video. That would be another challenge for my courage. So that could be fun. Okay, let's see. I've talked about some of the things that I did on my break and my writing. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that I have been meditating a lot and really trying to get in touch with my nervous system, because I think that is really the next step for me in my healing. I've done a lot of work in therapy and with myself and in journaling, and I've done a lot of intellectual work in my mind about working through my emotions and analyzing them and recognizing my patterns and my stories, and that has all been very helpful. But now I think I'm really to the point, I think I mentioned this in my last video, where I really want to focus on healing my nervous system and kind of healing the trauma and the emotion that is in my body and the fight or flight or freeze or fawn reactions that I often have in my body when anxiety comes up. And so I've been exploring a lot of meditations that are somatic, which just means that they focus more on the bodily sensations and let the body take the lead in the practice rather than the thinking mind. And during this break, I took a really cool free workshop on a practice called focalizing, which is all about tapping into your body's wisdom and really creating a space of acceptance within yourself for your emotions, so that rather than thinking, oh, I shouldn't be feeling these things, why am I always getting back in the same cycle, I really want to change this or fix this or get rid of these emotions. It's really about creating space and acceptance within ourselves for whatever we're feeling, and then allowing our body to heal and our body to take the lead through that open space to calm our nervous systems and allow things to process and soften and move out of the body and allow us to have closure and relief around some of our difficult feelings. So I was really, really affected by that workshop. And so I've decided to begin a training in learning more about that technique, both for myself so that I can use it in my own healing journey, and so that I can use it in my coaching practice as a wellness coach, and so that I can share it here with you in videos. And so I'm really excited about that. So I'll be starting that in a few weeks. It's a 10-week training course, and so there will be more to come about somatic nervous system practices and healing our emotions through our bodily sensations. And you know, I've always been very interested in ways to calm and soothe the nervous system and ways to help us find relief when we're struggling from anxiety and stress. And so this is just going to be another layer to all of that. And I'm really excited for what I will be learning and to be able to share it with you. So you can look forward to more meditations and nervous system practices to help you find peace in your body and your mind. Okay, well, I always end up rambling for longer than I think I will when I do these kinds of videos, and I don't know how much I've really switched back and forth. I've been doing it in longer chunks of soft speaking and then whispering, so maybe I'll have to do another video where I'm not thinking about what I want to say and I can really focus just on the switching of my level of speaking. But at any rate, I hope you have found this relaxing. Little page sound there. Relaxing and fun. And it's just nice to be here back with you. I don't know, I might be a little rusty. So thanks for being with me as I get warmed back up to doing ASMR. And I did want to say thank you for all the wonderful suggestions and requests that you shared for video ideas, and I have taken note of all of them, and I will work through them this fall and winter, and try to do as many of them as I can. And also thank you for the questions that you left in the comments on the last video for the Q&A video that I plan to record within the next couple of weeks. So if you didn't have a chance to leave me any questions yet, or if you've thought of any more questions you would like to add, please go ahead and put those in the comments. And if you have additional ideas or suggestions for videos, or favorite triggers or new triggers that you would like to see me do, please comment those as well. So I think that is everything on my tippity-tappity list here. Thank you again for being here with me. I hope you're doing really well as we move into September and draw closer to the fall season. And I'm just really glad that I can be here with you. And I thank you for being here with me. So take good care of yourself.